Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh snap! Here I go with the volume problems again. But we gonna fix this real quick. I do apologize, family. Yes, that's my music being very loud. There we go. Welcome, welcome, family. I want to tell you, welcome, welcome again to Professional Dad 24/7, a conversation about fatherhood. Where we have a platform that we discuss issues around fatherhood so that, it could help somebody who is going through situations as a father, give some insight for people who are getting ready to enter fatherhood, and just to have some things to make sure that you're enlightened to, about, for, and just to help. Right? Again, this is therapy for me, and I love talking to some real fathers, some real brothers who can really share some of the experiences that they have that I know will help somebody in life. At the end of the day, the hidden agenda that we have here is just to have a conversation so you can be aware of some stuff that you're going through. You're not the only one, and that maybe you can come out of it with some of the solutions and suggestions that we may have. Tonight, I got my guy here, man. My guy, Mr. Chris. I never tell a person's last name because they might got child support people looking for him and all that. But I know this brother, he handles his, so he ain't got to worry about that. But the creator, the owner, the founder of, the CEO of Like Father, Like Son, Mr. Chris. How you feeling, brother?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for having me, brother. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, man. It's always a blessing to have you on, man. You definitely inspire me, and the conversations we always have. It's always great. So, looking forward to what we're going to enlighten fathers with tonight. You know how we do, man. How we start off with is, how is fatherhood for you today? This time, 10, 12, 21. Is it 13 yet? No, it's 13, right? It's the 13th month.
Is it the 13th?
However, how is fatherhood for you today, my brother?
It's going good. It's going good. One is in there cooking dinner for the night, and another one is sleep, right? So I told him I was getting on. He asked what was for dinner. I said, hey, some salmon in there. Go do it. Don't ask me no questions. Of course, he ran at least 25 at me. And but I only answered maybe 6 of them. And so he's in there. But then his mother came and assisted him. But other than that, getting ready for basketball season. I'm coaching my son's team. And so that's kind of a fun experience in itself. But, fatherhood, making sure they're getting their homework done, making sure they're staying focused. The older guy, he is, I think the 9th week has just completed. And so I think the 9th week completes this week of school. So that first report card will be coming out. And I do believe he is doing excellent. But of course, we'll definitely know when those report cards come out. And the little guy is improving in his aspect of school. And so, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, for myself, that's great. That's great. Myself, fatherhood is always a challenge, right? And not to be any mean, not to have any put that in context of intellectual or anything like that. It's I just say it. I think my guy is still on the titty, and when I say that, I mean he's still under the mom's wing. And I'm having to check myself as far as having that in my head, right? Because although he is not following the the current path that I want him on, he's still on his own path, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I have to accept. He may not be moving as fast as I would like, but he's moving in the right direction. So I definitely have to check myself to kind of lean off of, because he's not under my wing, that
Right.
he's still on the titty. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a crazy way to put it, but it is what it is, right? But in having plenty of conversations with the young man, it's I feel like him being 19, almost 20, the teachings are different, right? Um, it's more like, now let me pick your brain a little bit versus me telling you what to do. I'm still gonna give some advice. That's what we do, right?
Right.
But now it's me making you think critically, right? He's got a job, which is great. Still in school, Sac State, cool, second year. Grades are okay. I check in, but I don't check on. But
Right.
the grades they're doing well. So I'm fatherhood for me today is like, it's still trying to create a way to make something happen. And basically I need to let go. Just shit, you know what I'm saying? That's just let him do what he do.
And
Right?
it's amazing that you say that like that because when you speak of your kid, you only have one, and I have three. So I rarely speak of the oldest one until we go in depth, right? Because I kind of have had to let go, at least when it comes to like major discussion about, hey, how's your kids, right?
Right.
Because I don't necessarily know. I've heard, but you'll drive yourself crazy with it because what I hear is instead of the tit, you rather him be under the wing,
Yes.
right? Or it's just uncomfortable that he's on the tit and not on the wing, or both at least. So
That's real. That's real. Yeah, I gotta. It's almost like, you know what I'm saying. You gotta. I always say you have to look at yourself and see what you're doing or what you're not doing to make yourself better, right?
mhm,
And
mhm.
man, I love when I talk to real cats who can kind of see where I'm at and say, hey, look, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta check yourself, right? And there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. Nothing wrong with that. The highlight of the day, man. One of the questions that I wanted to ask is about fathers that don't step up to the plate, right? How? I mean, it's almost like I hate to ask a question like that because I probably don't know how and why they do that.
Mhm.
But what is it? What makes a father not want to be a father? If you can answer that question.
Fear. I think it's just fear.
Hmm.
I think it's pure fear, even if it's fear of dealing with the woman who is spontaneously, impulsively wild, crazy, putting herself in a position of being unsafe. I think it's fear. I think fear conquers a lot of things, a lot of people's decisions. And so when you're afraid, and so we didn't even talk about the fact of actually raising a human.
Mhm.
We ain't even talking about the fact of being in the room when the young lady gives birth. We didn't talk about actually looking and seeing the baby come out of the woman's vagina. We didn't talk about wiping off all of the fluids that come out on the baby. Watch the baby cry, watch the baby come out as, pale as, the day sky, and then over a week or month or 2 years, 5 years, turn as dark as myself. That's fear. Baby up all night crying. You don't know what to do. You have no idea. There is no parental manuals. Not really. Not when it's live and live in color. So I believe overall is fear. Yeah, some people may say, yeah, that bitch, she crazy. Yeah, that's one thing. She may be completely off the Richters and spontaneously psycho. Then what?
Right.
Then what? Does that allow you to say I'm not doing it?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what made me bring that question out is because you gotta you we do have. I was hit with a couple of things this week, and one was a conversation on a father not willing to step up and be the father that he ought to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not wanting to even be in the part of the child's life, right? And so one aspect of that was like so much was going through my mind when I was told about something like that. I'm like, okay, how did you choose this individual that could become such distance from you? What kind of relationship did that have in the beginning? Right? Can you see this coming before? Right? And the
Right.
reason why I'm talking about this is because it's almost like, right, because we don't communicate well about what we want in life because we just don't know what we want in life at that particular time, and we're just doing some shit just to be doing it. Some sex to be, pleasure or whatever, or because you like this person, you want to hold him down, or you just want to hit it, whatever. Not really accepting or understanding what the consequences are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you knew better, you would have did better. So, but if you didn't know better, you found out the hard way, right?
Right.
And I don't want to make it seem like I'm going on a tangent, but that was one thing that was going through my head when this came to me. And I also thought about, well, what position was the guy in to make him not want to be a dad? Like, where, in reality, we do have situations where, there's orgasms, there's orgies, right? Right. And I'm being clean with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Right.
want
Right.
to say, yeah, I done ran a train on the chick and you the one that accidentally slipped up and you done gave her the baby, But,
Right.
you have things like that happen, right? And how do you ask somebody or how do you bring that out to where, you not that you're asking, well, hey, or were you a hoe or was he a hoe? Did you know? Did he know?
Right.
And does those things impact him wanting to be a part of the father, hood situation because of what he's going to be thought of by
Right.
the community that know all y'all?
Right. And that jumps right back into what? Fear.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. I'm
yes,
afraid of the repercussions of what I'm going to hear people say, their thoughts, their feelings, the truth, right? Of how this is all about to break down. And you got to hear that almost forever, until you take that stand, right? Because once the baby is there and you're taking on that responsibility, it starts making those adjustments. But beforehand, it's really fear, but like we've spoke before, sometimes there is most of the time, all the time, there's two sides to a story. And when you only get one, then that's where a person like myself, like yourself, you would lead to jump to conclusions, right? That maybe it's fear. Well, on the other hand, it could be a reason why that person is choosing not to father that child. But when it's all said and done, Spunk, and you do find out that that baby is yours, outside of them telling you no, give up your money, leave that girl alone, and you are restrained from seeing the baby, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, it's your obligation to try to solve the problem. Because we are the men, we are black men, we are strong and powerful. If you're asking me, like you're asking, we are the kings of the world. So it is our responsibility to build us up. And it comes from us figuring out and solving issues that we have been known to be distracted of.
Right.
You know, we've known to be distracted, stopped, halted, hesitate to solve problems that we have as a people.
Right.
That was pretty deep right there.
That
I'm just
was,
saying.
that was. And that's just a snippet of the the loads of other pressures that's on that man outside of that. Because at the end of the day, we targets, right? We
Right.
under attack. So
Right.
that just adds more pressure. And some people don't, they don't rise to pressure.
Right. That
They just
fear.
oh,
And
they
that, you
feel
know,
fear.
yes. Yes, man.
So let me flip it a little bit because I think it's so common that we speak about, what I'm saying, the father not being there, right? Now, when I said I was hit with two things, right? I was also hit with something where it was the reverse, where a mother literally dropped off the kid, didn't want any relations with the kid, dropped it off to the father and was like, do your thing. Moved on, had another two kids by somebody else, and was definitely the mother to those kids. So I was like, well, damn, you know, that happens, but rarely do you hear it being talked about, right? So
Right.
I was like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's less likely talked about. So when it was hit to me, I was just like, damn, I started thinking about other stuff like, well, what was it that she didn't see in her firstborn with who she had it with, that she wanted to detach herself away from it's a girl and the father.
Oh. Mm.
They were in a committed relationship for, I believe, 5 years. So it wasn't nothing like a rape or an accident. It was a relationship. But I said to myself, well, damn, this could be cold because it might be even sexist, because it's like, I'm thinking like, well, what's mentally wrong with her? She had the baby. That's coming out of you. Mentally, how could you do that? Which I should be thinking the same way about a father who just disappeared on his kid, right? But we don't look at it like that, right? However, these are all the things that I'm thinking about with this whole situation that I'm hit with. One, about father not being there, that we're so commonly known to hear about, right? But on the other hand, where the mama don't want to have no dealings with the kid, but has a loving, bonding relationship with two other kids and another man. So I'm like, yeah, what did you do? What did you do, brother? That you left the kid. Go ahead.
Right. So I think of two words: hatred and to despise someone. And so, as despise, scorn, disdain mean to regard as unworthy of one's notice or consideration. Despise may suggest an emotional response raging from strong dislike. Despise, cowards, contemn implies a person or thing as low, vile, feeble, or what's that word?
I don't know. I can't.
Ignominious. I need to look up that word. But when you have that type of feeling towards people, and you know the old saying, you try to tell your kid, try not to hate nobody. It's a strong word. But the fact of the matter is, outside of, the child support, outside of you being afraid, outside of, hey, okay, look, I can take care of this. I can handle this. Don't try to tell me what I can't do. Hey, black man, you don't know all my issues. You're right. I don't. I'm simply speaking on what were just my opinion. But when you have a feeling of and about someone and real life animosity and evil envy is behind it, it carries so much weight. Like, really think about all the stuff we go through in this world, all the stuff we hear, all the stuff we don't hear. Spunk. People really walk around with that type of anger. And so when it comes to woman, man, and then you bring a baby into it, because babies, bless their hearts, but they are ripping relationships up on a daily, like the water flow. Okay. And they ain't doing it on purpose because it don't have nothing to do with them. But it has something to do, like you just said. I was an accident. I just kind of got with her. It was a train. And I actually did step up, but then she ain't what I thought she was. He ain't what I thought she was, right? And then you just go from this, from that great night of sex to I hate that bee and I'll kill that bee. Wow, whoa. What did he or she do? But people really walk around with that much feelings about a person. And that surpasses any type of positive love, change in opinion. It conquers it.
Right. So when I was hit with that too, right? What I thought, like, again, I always say the best antidote to a broken home or a situation where the two parents are apart is great co-parenting, right? I always say that's the best antidote to the shit. But it made me think that those type of situations, us as fathers that do the disappearance act, the Houdini, you don't want to be the daddy, you don't want to be a part of the kid's life, that mentally, that affects the kid mentally on how they will in turn raise their own kids, whether or not they are more attached or disattached from the kid, right? Does that impact, is that impact greater being that it's done by the mother dropping the kid off and not coming and not and playing the Houdini, or the father? To me, I don't think it's no difference, right? Because the impact that you have on a missing father, you missing out on a king raising you like you're supposed to be raised. The impact that you don't have with a missing mother, the impact of a queen that's raising you like she's supposed to, you missing out. So it's no different, right? And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up, this situation or this topic, if you will, up, is because at the end of the day, as fathers, we, like you said, that's the ultimate form of leadership, right? And if we don't put a stop to being the Houdini, right? Because a lot of us didn't grow up with our own father, shit.
Right.
Whether or not it was by choice, whether drugs, whether died, whatever, a lot of us was raised by single parents, right?
Right.
If we don't put some type of stop to it, being that we can, right? Then the cycle continues in us having kids and not raising them right, and then babies raising babies and all these other things that can comprise and cause more problems for the kid and future families to become retarded cousins and extended. I'm being funny when I say that. Special.
Right. Mentally disturbed, Dave.
Yeah, mentally disturbed. Special, deliberate.
Right.
But what I'm saying, you get the picture of what I'm saying, and I think it's we don't talk about it, so that's why I wanted to talk about it. If you want the daddies as being Houdini, why? Right? Just know that you could have raised a positive individual, right? Or the streets, the music, the community in which the way it is could be creating a destructive individual that's going to take out somebody, right? Because they ain't being raised right. Which way do you go in? What I mean? So that's why I want to bring that up. Definitely.
Okay.
What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts, man?
I don't know. When it comes to dads being Houdinis and things, I gotta understand life. You know, my mom, my dad, they both drugs, prison, the whole story. And in my 43 years of living, if God had blessed me to get to 43 next month, I get it. I get how people get caught up on drugs. I really do. I understand it. I pray for them every night. When I eat dinner, I pray for the homeless and the sick and afflicted. And when you get on them drugs, you are sick. Okay. But I swear to you, Spunk, I get it. Now, to be on it for life, I don't get it. If you were the generation before or the generation after, I should say, like us, and if our parents didn't have drugs in their system when you were born, meaning that you are some type of drug baby. And obviously, the hard term is crack baby, right? But there's other drugs that have gotten into our systems before we were born. Okay. We all was probably born with weed, alcohol. My mama, right? My mama said she was doing heroin since 16. So for me to even be right here talking to y'all is its own. You understand? It's its own. So when we get on here and tell a story or two, our opinion, it ain't to bash you, to tell you that we think we better than you. What the fuck we talking about? We just trying to help get through this bullshit that we're going through in life, and how do we empower each other, and what do you do as an individual to power yourself up to make it through this motherfucker? Okay? Because between parenting and coaching and my wife, Spunk, I can't tell you what else I got. Okay. But those things empower me. And my wife, had a little snickle, when I threw her in the puzzle, she drive me up a goddamn wall as if I gotta go find the goddamn bananas up in earth at the top crust of the earth. But that don't mean I don't love her. We've been together 18 years. Shit. And even if it was for the children, I still love your ass. And we right here. And until neither one of us get the hell out, this is what it is. And that in itself is its own. How the hell do you get to it and through it? And so when it comes to this parenting stuff, if you was able to get through and you are a working mind, all there cognitive, it is your duty, goddamn it, to father your child, because you saw what happened to us. You saw the homies, how many homies, Spunk. God damn, they used to have that. They used to have that picture. What was it? It was at a jail, or it was like in hoods, at like recreations, where it was like 40 black brothers that we all knew, Hunters Point, Sunnydale, Lakeview, that was dead.
Right.
That was just one list, and I don't even know how them homies got on that list.
Right.
But I'm willing to tell you that at least 90% of them didn't have no daddy.
That's right.
Okay, I'm willing to bet that. And then people out here we still talking about not, or having some type of reason and excuse on not fathering a child. Damn. But I'm gonna say it again. I get it, because I said the word fear, and fear is so goddamn heavy. Okay, every single day they don't stop with the fear. They don't stop. They always coming out with a scary movie. They always telling you how the police will kill you and show you live on television, and it's okay, and he'll do 6 months, if that. We're always telling you some new little illness that comes out to have your ass afraid and fearful and arguing with your coworker and your next door neighbor. It's always, fear is always there. So I'm gonna tell you again, I get it, but to do it for life, I don't get that.
Yeah. If one thing that I could suggest or advise when it comes to becoming a father, Now, this is for those who, haven't yet became a father, about to become a father, right? Um, it's be able to endure the situation, right? And it's not just an 18-year program. It's a life program that you have to go
Right.
through, right? And in order to make the best of, for the interest of the child, you still have to be humble enough to make sacrifices that come up. And I say it like that because here's myself, as great as a father that I have been and will become, right? Um, I still wouldn't badmouth the mother of my son for no reason at all. Wouldn't do it. Ain't gonna do it. Never did it.
But
And
if you got a good reason, it's
if
okay.
I might have to, sit in a chair in a corner and do it myself. But right, even if I have the right to, right, I think overall, it's been better to be the bigger person in every situation, right? Even when it's like, damn again. All I'm
Right.
doing is what's in the best interest of the child. If if a father could endure that 18 years, maybe younger, depending on the maturity of the kid, right? If you can endure just doing your part in the best interest of the kid, feel me, trying to evade any confrontation that will make you seem less than the person you are, you'll be fine.
I'm gonna go football analogy.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
The black father has to be able to take the beating. Watch this. That the black quarterback has to take in the National Football League and college and high school. Because the black quarterback is a strong, fast, running, physical, unique human. Okay. The referee will blow the whistle if you dive at the non-black quarterbacks. If the running back or the quarterback runs to the right and he's rolling to the right and he goes 1 yard before the line of scrimmage, he will get pulverized, helmet hit, bang to the ground. But they'll say, hey, he's so big, he's so strong, he's like a running back. We didn't know if he was going to run. We didn't know if this. I've been watching football for quite some time, and I'm just going to start at Michael Vick. And if you go Michael Vick, you go Cam Newton, you go now our young, what's my young stud? What's his name? Who? No, not Trey Lance for the Ravens.
Oh, you talking about
Lamar Jackson. Okay,
yes.
all you got to do is watch. Okay, and they do not call the game the same.
Yeah.
So I say that as fathers, if you imagine you were the quarterback, and so when you call Goodell and say, "Hey, I'm getting all these extra hits on me, and I'm watching this replay. Why am I getting this call?" And Goodell give you some old bullshit story or why it's okay, and the ref never call it for you. It's the same thing as a father. You're going through all this extra stuff, but it's your job to still be able to go out there and be a father. That quarterback still has to get his butt up and still call the huddle, know exactly where everybody's going. And he just got hit 3 times in a row by Ndamukong Suh, who hates your guts, okay, who gets paid millions of dollars to knock you over. And as fathers, no one cares about the black man and you trying to be a father. So we have to be able to withstand all that's coming our way, whether it's the city and county of where you are, whether it's child support, whether it's the woman who you feel that is doing you wrong, mischievous, or is doing you wrong. It doesn't matter. That's the cold part about it. It doesn't matter because no one cares anyone anyway.
Right.
Cool. You don't want to be a father? No problem. One more child, we get to suck on our way. Come on
Right.
over here and let's lead him down the path toward failure. But we're going to put it in the form of education, right?
Right.
But come on over here and let that child have less support making it through this world that we already know for a fact will chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah.
So we got to be able to withstand it. You know, Graham's always told me, Spunk, you got to be 3 times better. 3 times better. Not just better, not better again, but 3 times better. So.
And it ain't like we can't do it.
Right.
It ain't like we can do it, right?
And that's the only way we've been able to sustain it. Because you kind of got to keep thinking, how do you get through it? You got the mother-child drama. I've had the mother-child drama. You get through it. You figure it out somehow, some way. You don't give up. You don't. You don't. You go to the court yourself. You go to the school yourself. You give them your number yourself. You say, hey, can I get my own personal email? I know that's a lot, but I'm asking, but can you do it? Right. Hey, I'll come. How can I volunteer? It's you. You can't have no excuses, you know, when it comes to the parenting. It got to be you anyway, though, Spunk. Yeah. It got to be you. And if it ain't you and you're looking for someone else to do it for you, you're playing behind the 8 ball.
Right. So for y'all that don't or didn't get that, we all on the same playing field. We just got to play by a different set of rules.
That's it.
But we still got to play. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I ain't gonna say I was heavy, but that's something off my chest that, you know, I can take from our discussion. And if I have another conversation with these people who brought these things to my attention, you know, I can better give them a clear idea of what they can do. At the end of the day, you're only able to do what you can do, but you do something. Shit.
Right.
Because nothing is a problem. Nothing is a problem. Man, that's all I had, man. You got anything on your mind, man? You want to get off, or
I do got something, but you know how I get.
Go ahead.
But I do got one thing before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was talking to this father, right? So you know, and you know, just because you always end up in the father conversation, and the individual was telling me about how he now has his daughter, and the daughter doesn't have a relationship with the mother. And so all I did mentally, as he's telling me the story, I took it and I flipped it on, damn, if I didn't have a relationship, and I kind of don't with my older son, but when my son was younger, imagine that, right? So I pretty much told him it's his responsibility to make sure that the daughter has a relationship with her mom. Now, the mother is on her height. I don't believe she's I think her head is on right, you know, but she just got the, you know, it's my way or the highway, right? And the daughter's feeling like, I don't want to mess with her. And it came from a reason. So the mother kind of has to fix it. But on the other hand, if the mother is still trying to reach out, right or wrong, right? And she's still in the picture, I believe, and what I suggested to the young man is, I think you got to make it happen. In an aspect, dial the number, tell her, you got to talk to your mother. I don't care. You're right? Because 2 wrongs don't make a right, Spunk. We can't get on here and talk about, you know, how maybe this need to be like that or this be like this. This is a child and it's a girl. Come on, man. You need your mother and you need that other parent to push when the kid won't push. It's a kid. And I didn't go that deep, but, and these are my opinions. So that's why I'm asking you, because in my eye, just like, little Chris, when he would go to his mother's house, she didn't care about him calling me.
Right.
I called him. When he came to my house, he didn't care about calling her. I made him call his mother. So, and again, just my opinion, only my opinion, and we just having a discussion. I believe he figures out a way. You figure something out for your daughter and them to have a relationship. Now, if it's got to go to the house and all that, no. But if it's small, right? You go run 2-3 errands, I'll link back up with you. Whatever it is, set something up to where it happens and happens on a regular basis where they can start mending it. If you have the power, especially if you have the power, in my opinion. Go.
So
what you think about that?
So here's what I think about that. Okay.
And there's more to the story, Spunk.
Okay. So
that goes against the mother.
I'll start with this. You can't make a father be a father if he don't want to be a father, right? You can't make him be a father. All you can do is give them the opportunity to play their role, however that may be, right? Because again, in that situation, I'm gonna say just like I would say it from that point of view. You can't make a mother be the mother she don't want to be, right? All you can do is allow for the opportunity to present itself. Meaning, because you never know what the conversation is or the communication is with the two parents. They probably bicker, fight, ain't no need to do all that shit around the kids, right? So I would assume, from my experience, what I would do is create, hey, here's a phone. I'll purchase the phone in good faith. Pay for the phone. Might be an Obama phone, $10, Metro, whatever. You have a phone to contact your mother. You have a number programmed in yours, right? It's a way to communicate this with the kid.
But what if she doesn't want to? What if the kid doesn't want to?
Here's where I'm at. Before I set that up with the kid, I'm going to, hey, look, I know you don't want to be a part. If it's possible, if you got 30 minutes every Tuesday, Thursday, give them a call. Right? Present the opportunity, right, for them to be able to do what they need to do with as least problems as possible, right? Again, for the sake of the kid, right? Now, if that person doesn't want to take the opportunity, you can't do nothing about it. All you have to do is continue to pour in the love into that kid that you can do, that you're supposed to do. Right. Now, when it's asked, at some point, you will be able to have the conversation with the kid. Kids they sharp. They sharp.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? So at some point, depending on the development of that kid and where they are mentally, right? From 4 to 7, it ain't, your mama just ain't here. Right? You can't do that. It's just you done fucked up the kid's mind. Oh, you just like mama. Right?
Right.
But hey, avoid the question or avoid as much of the conversation that they can't handle at that time. But as the stages of their life go on, little girl, she got to go into the cycle stuff, right? So that stuff you're gonna have to take a part of. But what I'm bringing that up is because at some point you can have a discussion that mommy's not here, but that doesn't stop daddy from doing what he's supposed to do.
Right.
When mommy's ready and able and wanting to, again, and the reason why I said that is because at the end of the day, that other parent is gonna have to deal with the consequences of the way that kid felt from their distance, from their not being involved when that kid becomes an adult. Right? But if the kid is still being harped on, why mommy, but not getting the love that the kid needs, then the kid is gonna miss out on love, right? If you still showering the kid with love, she ain't missing nothing. Yes, she missing moms, right? Hopefully, the father doesn't, intrude on the child's psyche with that going on, because you don't want to bring another lady involved. That's, this is not mommy. Like, this, who is this? Like, you don't want those problems, right? So,
Right.
depending on how that works, I would just say, as long as you give the mom, the paternal mom, the opportunity, you got to be all right with that. You got to be okay with that, because again, you can't make her do what she don't want to do. And then
The girl.
with the girl, you can't make the mom do what she's supposed to do. So you have to
No,
just
I'm talking about the girl. But we're talking about the girl though.
the girl, the baby girl.
Can you make the girl? Can you make the girl talk to her mama?
So if
it's 5-10 minutes, a couple of days out of the week.
If you doing that, I think, to me, that's more. I never wanted to put the weight of my son having to do some stuff that the mom should do, right? You don't want to put more weight on the kid for them to be thinking about, why do I have to chase mommy down?
Well, ain't that the same? Ain't that the same as, well, why I gotta clean up?
No, because why you gotta clean up is because I'm teaching you to learn how to fend for yourself and take care of yourself when you home, when you got your own, when you independent. So that's totally different for me.
Okay.
My perspective.
Just asking.
That's learning life. I'm gonna teach you to be independent, right? That's separate. But if I'm putting pressure on, if you putting pressure on the kid to be an adult at a kid age, that's not cool. That's not
right.
Not allowing the kid to flourish and being a kid.
And that's amazing you say that, because now that as I'm thinking about it, because I remember someone saying to me and to Marcus, you leaving it on your son and your daughter to call you, that ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
They still kids, no matter what. They still, young. Right. So they not tripping off you. So, but
let me say this. And I think what parents I think what parents do to avoid that whole situation, it's almost like what we do. We keep our kids involved with other stuff, kid stuff, sports, extracurricular, whatever they like. Keep them in it, ballet, whatever. So it takes them, and not to say putting them involved into that stuff, it doesn't come up, because you still see other kids with both parents, with their mama there. So you still see it, but it's, hey, I'm putting you in an environment just to be a kid. When the situation comes up, we'll deal with it in that manner. Why don't my mommy at the games? Well, you probably can say, depending on the age, have a conversation with your mom, have a conversation with your dad, right?
Right.
Or not even say that. And me personally, I never said that, right? Because I think that's still a form of pitting the kid against the mom, right?
Because I always felt like with my son's mother that things were said that didn't have to be said, that could have been orchestrated differently, so that when years came up later, now you're trying to fix something. I felt like, in my opinion, the only reason it was so broken is because when he was younger, you was given this advice, which helped kind of divide. And so whenever he would come to the house, I would have to try to mend it, and we never could mend it because it was only 1 week. So then by the time you get 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, I don't even get a chance to mend it. I don't get a chance to suture it, all because of what was said back then. So then when we get older, hey, and you can tell me I'm wrong all you want, but God damn it, to this day, I will call my son's mother. He's 23 years old, and I will tell her, you are partly the reason why this nigga don't talk to me in my opinion. And I could be wrong. I'm just telling you because we're talking about it.
That's I mean, okay.
Because of
it's real shit. It's real.
how
All of it real, but
go.
I spit on that because I don't spit on that. When that is very much. I'm in a similar situation, right? But it's like again, being a bigger person, I ain't got to call. We ain't got to call, right? And knowing what we've done, we got to allow life to take its course and the kid to say, you know what? That shit she was talking was some bullshit. When it's gonna happen, we don't know, but it's gonna happen.
Right.
And that's what I mean by, again, we like when you say you call, hell yeah, I could be you mother. I feel you on that. Right?
You know, because you know you go so long and you just thinking, you know, and I'm always thinking, okay, damn, that do that damn. Wait a minute, hell no,
Right.
Hell no, Spunk.
Yeah.
And I just think about that extra bit of, because I'm telling you, Spunk, I was the guy. I know sometimes I get on here, y'all, and y'all be like, this nigga think he perfect, okay, but I'm far from it. But I was the guy who would sit outside of my son's mother's job with her in the car, him in the car, Spunk, and I would apologize for not waking up to them on a daily because of my youth and not, you know, being in them circumstances because I was moving fast. Okay, this is 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, multiple times, trying to right my wrongs, you know, and I don't think that's ever, you know, that's never been not necessarily rewarded, but I can't think of another word right now, or acknowledged. How about that?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And but that's you know, that's big, man.
But that's what I mean by it's gonna eventually come, right? Because I always said that, okay, all the shit that's being done, I don't even want to have to say nothing about it. It's gonna come to light, and you're gonna have to deal with that with him. You are the other person,
right?
And I never get on here to talk bad about the shit, but it's really like, okay, as he grows, he's gonna see some bullshit. Like, wait a minute, that's not the way the game. That's not the what I was told, or that's not. They're gonna see something different to where they're gonna appreciate all the shit, the consistency that you had. Like, you know, even if you apologize and all the stuff, again, all that will come into play. We just don't know when, right? You know what I'm saying? And I feel you. It's like, I want this shit to come now, bro, so we can be on the bigger and better things. But it's like, as they come of age, maybe when he have a kid, shit gonna just start ding. Pops was like, that shit wouldn't fly. Or Pops showed me this. I physically saw what direction and how Dad was trying to, what he was doing, how he moved, how he operated, how he resolved problems, things of that nature. Then it'll come to fruition. But if they, you know, they so clingy to the other one who done started all that bullshit, we just gotta wait it out. We gotta wait it out, bro.
And that's why I looked at it from the other side. Right. You see what I'm saying? And being the man and dad, and you're in control, right? What can you do to where you, as a father, years to come, you know that you tried to make it happen between your your daughter and a mom. And you got, I remember this day, and I tried to set it up. I tried this. Hey, I dialed your number. I gave her the phone. You might have blew it. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying, because we on that other side, man. And now that this guy is on the other side, you're in that role that
Right.
most of us men be like, man, you just dogged me out. You didn't even, what could you have done? You didn't even try. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's all we be wanting. Try him. You ain't gonna try to get the little nigga to mess with me. You know he hate me.
Yeah. And as long as the kid sees the attempts, in the end, the kid is not going to blame the father for the situation. Not at all. That's going to later in life make that bond even more secure. Who is that young girl going to go to when she really have a serious issue to talk about? She going to go to Pops, right? And respecting that if Pops, hey, I presented the opportunity for you to talk to your child, for you to be a part. No, she can't talk because she's talking that shit. No. You talk. Let them, you allow the opportunity to be there. Whether or not they took advantage of that opportunity, it's on them. But if the child see that, I don't think the child will have nothing to, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it would be no severe consequences for the father in that situation. I really don't. It's the mother that kid is gonna have to, she gonna have to have some consequences that she gonna have to deal with when that kid gets older. Because then you got resentment, right? They may not show it now how much they resent it. They want it, but when they get 21, what the fuck? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like Pops coming into your life, he ain't been around and you done made it to the major leagues. Nigga, this nigga just want to check. Excuse my language.
Right.
He just want to get. Do you accept that? That's up to you got to accept what he does. You wasn't there when he was working to get there. Now you just come evolve.
Right.
That's a Russian roulette type of a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You rolling the craps and it ain't gonna go right. So as long as Pops present the opportunity for that mother to get involved, that's all he can do. Again, you can't make the parent be a parent.
Yeah, that was just hot on. That was something I was thinking about, and I, talking to a father, and I wanted your opinion on that one.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, because that's real. Well, there you have it, man. Once again, man, I appreciate these conversations, man, because again, this is therapy for me. I can help the next young brother that I see about to have a kid or going through the drama, and enlighten them about some things that they can do. My aim, my hope is to get some people some clinical persons on here to share how we can resolve some of these issues that we have in ourselves, right? So that we can have some resources. Yeah, this is a platform where we can talk about a lot of stuff, share our experiences, but my goal is to get some people on here that are well-versed, educated, clinically able to give some better advice on how to seek help. Because this is my therapy. I don't know what your therapy is. So I make sure this allows me not to, beat somebody's head to the white meat, you know what I'm saying, on some stuff where this girl done got me going crazy, right? But it is what it is. But man, you got any last words you want to throw out there before we end this subject tonight, brother?
Hey, keep it up, guys. Try your hardest. That's it. Try your hardest. Fucking be a father. Ask advice, seek advice. And you can figure it out if you really want to.
Right. Man, with that, like I always say, man, it's never about changing the narrative of Black fathers. We out here, we exist. Some people ain't talking loud enough. Some of y'all don't hear us, but I'm glad y'all had the opportunity to listen to my guy, Chris, and I, and talk about these things. Till next time. Salute, brother.